Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. By the way, Kenzie's still in Mexico. She is back tomorrow. Probably seen some wonderful pictures if you follow her on social or follow Q101. So, she's having a great time for her birthday weekend.
Colorful outfits.
Yeah.
Interesting dresses. We'll talk about it when she gets back.
Is that right? You're going to mention her clothes?
I think I'm going to.
Okay. All right.
As long as you build a wall between her and I in the studio for my protection.
I'm going to make her pay for it.
This wasn't commentary on like the Gulf of America. Her being in Mexico is entirely unrelated to any wall that's going to be built.
I don't know about that.
I'm a big wall guy, you know me.
Not so sure. Not so sure. Okay, here we go with a fact that makes your brain go. And over the weekend, very cold and rainy. I sat through the 3-hour Cubs rain delay on Friday. I'm getting somewhere with this. Hang with me. Saturday, still cold, but at least sunnier, but very windy in that wind chill.
Windy.
Yesterday, adorable, beautiful. Went to the lakefront, and it was just all of a sudden, like, that's what happens in Chicago. Like, all of a sudden, one day, people come out of hibernation, and everything is packed. The streets are packed. Every restaurant's packed. The beach is packed. Everything. It was beautiful. And today's going to be 80 today, which gets me to our fact today, that start feeling like going in the water, going in the lake. Love it. Can't wait to go in the lake. Had some friends in town that described that everybody is shocked that visits Chicago that the lake here is the size of the ocean. They picture some small lake at a golf course when you say Chicago's on Lake Michigan. It really is. I love when people come from out of town and I show off Chicago. I love it. And then they always leave here, thank you for your service. I bill them. It's all great for the tour that I give them. I give them a world-class tour.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
this is the Portillo's I eat at. This is the Burger King I go to.
Actually, it was this weekend was Culver's, Portillo's, El Tapatio, but more on that later on my
Everybody stay tuned. More on that later.
on my fat intake.
Oh, you thought you were going to work today. No. Sit in the parking lot for a little bit. Brian's going to talk about what he ate this weekend.
I think I had 20,000 calories this weekend. There's a good chance of that.
Well, you've earned it at least.
I have. Damn right. With my tours. But you think about going in the water. Well, this is a fact that's disturbing. And, sharks can't exist in Lake Michigan, by the way. They can swim at the Lawrence Seaway, the Sea Lawrence Seaway. They get to, they get to Lake Erie, they get to Lake St. Clair, they get to Lake Huron, the Superior, and they get to Michigan. Yeah! And there are some sharks that can mold into freshwater environments. So this is why this is concerning. Shark attacks are on the rise. I say it again. Shark attacks are on the rise. Why do you think that is? We have the answer in just about 3 minutes. We're going to play All-American Rejects, and we'll have the answer for you there. But you can guess at 312-591-8300 why you think shark attacks, what reason could it be possibly that shark attacks are on the rise? Case, what do you think?
People aren't going to like this.
Oh, boy.
But I'm going to go back to something we talked about extensively last week. My answer is going to have to do with big garbage, big trash, if you will.
Big trash.
Big trash. People are being more conscious about what they throw away where, i.e., playing along with the facade of recycling. Therefore, those soda containers that hold a 6-pack of soda, the plastic rings,
Yes.
are not ending up in the ocean. They're not ending up clamping down on sharks' mouths by accident, and thus sharks are more free to bite people now.
You're exactly right. We don't need to go on.
No, our show's over.
So-
Play Lincoln Park, we're done.
So the 6-pack holders that formerly had acted like a muzzle.
That's right.
while
Thank you.
we-
Muzzle was the word I was looking for.
While we pollute the ocean.
Yeah. People aren't doing that anymore.
So these sharks are being walked like those dogs that are a little scary with a muzzle on. But before,
like my dog.
yeah, it was very nice to have those muzzled sharks.
Yes.
And now, because we've gotten better to try to save the planet, they're unmuzzled.
The muzzles are off, and the sharks are taking advantage of it.
Well, listen, when we come back, we're going to get into this in our fact that makes your brain go, why do you think shark attacks are on the rise? We'll tell you shortly. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and the fact that makes your brain go, shark attacks are on the rise. And I mentioned how a shark could actually come into Lake Michigan and do some damage, and people aren't aware of that, but it can happen. Now, Harley checked in and said a live shark has never gotten into Lake Michigan. That's false. I saw 7 on Sunday while I was walking the lakefront.
Just on Sunday?
Yep, just on Sunday alone. That's not an urban legend. I saw them. I saw the fins. I saw the teeth. I measured the dorsal. And the tip to the dorsal, that's how you remember. In Jaws, that's how you measure how big the shark is in the water. That's all you can see. You remember the mayor in Jaws? Very clear on keeping the beaches open. No one's telling you this. That's why I'm saying this here. You won't find this on WGN TV later on about the 7 sharks I saw in Lake Michigan.
Yes, because they need to keep the beaches open for that tourist money.
A lot of tourist money at Lake Michigan. I saw my friends came in
It's
town.
really a miracle of evolution. All this machine does is swim and eat and make little sharks. And that's all. Now, why don't you take a long, close look at this sign? Those proportions are correct.
Love to prove that, wouldn't you? Get your name into the National Geographic.
Larry, if we make an effort today, we might be able to save August. August? For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business. It's going to be one of the best summers we've ever had. Now, if you fellas are concerned about the beaches, you do whatever you have to make them safe. But those beaches will be open for this weekend.
Damn right they will be. Sorry, no one else is talking about the sharks I saw in Lake Michigan over there. 7 sharks I counted.
He's the most evil man to ever exist.
I don't know why in movie history he doesn't get enough credit for being one of the most evil people ever. And I quote, when the second movie, after a shark had already eaten several people and caused havoc on the beach, when Marty brings it to him again that another shark has shown up, he goes, don't push it this time.
Don't push it.
What do you mean push it? It already happened. It's going to happen again.
It's why, Fridays at 8, I do classic movie reviews because prior to last year, I had never really seen any big movies, Jaws included. And we play a little sounder at the start of those reviews that opens with the mayor of Jaws. Everybody wants to quote, "You're going to need a bigger boat" from that movie.
Right.
It's the wrong quote. The mayor saying, beaches are going to be open. That is the quote that everybody needs to take away from Jaws.
And Jaws 2, Martin, don't push it this time.
Don't push it.
People got eaten last year.
The mayor's son almost got eaten last year.
His son. Come on, man.
Come on.
All right, so a lot of people checking in with different theories on why shark attacks are on the rise. And Case mentioned that because we're doing a better job of recycling, those 6-pack holders are not muzzling sharks, and therefore they're capable to eat you easier. It's an amazing theory.
Thank you. One of my best.
It's not correct. Here's the reason why shark attacks are increasing. It's because of clout chasers. Clout chaser influencers love getting videos of petting a shark at the fin, and then eventually they get bit. And some of them die. They lose an arm, and they're always so... These people that get arms bitten off by sharks are always so positive afterward.
What do you mean by these people?
These clout chasing influencers. They're always like, I'm going to overcome it. I don't regret my decision to go in swimming. I'll go right back in the water. I don't understand. I don't understand this. If I lost my leg, I'd be crying the rest of my life from a shark.
But if you survive a shark attack, like just imagine being in the water at the same time as a shark, let alone a shark eats you and you survive. What are you going to do? Be depressed afterwards?
I'd rather the shark just take me out because this body...
what a bad attitude.
Because this body, one arm gone, what good am I at this point?
What good are you with 2 arms as is?
Interesting theory on that one. I think I'm pretty darn good with all limbs.
Okay.
With one limb gone, I think I'm kind of useless.
If you had to choose right arm, right leg, left leg, which one would you lose?
You have had no idea how much time has been spent on this conversation late at night drinking with friends.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to say, it can't be legs. I'm taking legs right out of it.
Really? You're going to keep both legs? You need both of them.
My legs are my best feature. Do you want to see them?
No, because they're not getting used much.
Just 2 guys dropping their pants here in the studio.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that real quick. Kenzie's in Mexico, and Jim Brown and I here. The sun's hitting the studio in a way. The only word I can describe it is intimate. I'm extremely uncomfortable being alone in the room with you right now. Not because you're going to do anything. I just have an issue with male bonding, and I'm super uncomfortable right now.
Don't get comfortable. Maybe things will go to the next level.
Okay.
I have to say it has to be left arm.
Left arm.
Left arm.
Okay.
I've got a scar on that arm too, but take it, shark. I'm good.
It's already damaged goods?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
But because of clout-chasing influencers are going in the water more and more and approaching sharks, that is causing more attacks on them. So then, when you go in the water, just as a normal person, you're going out there to have a good time in the beach, maybe look back at the beach at people wearing bikinis with your sunglasses on so your significant other doesn't notice you're looking at these people. This is what Megan claims I do all the time when I go in the water. I got the darkest sunglasses at Costco, the Kirkland sunglasses with the darkest shade. Why'd you get that? So you can look at all the girls at the beach? She's not wrong. I mean,
No, Megan's not an idiot. She wasn't born yesterday. I've spent time around you. I know how you are.
well, when I get the lightest shade of sunglasses.
Come on.
Get out of town. So it's also causing people, random normals, to get attacked by sharks because these influencers have encouraged the sharks that, hey, why don't I can take a bite by going 10 more feet. And these clout chasers, these influencers, if you will, have caused this to happen and caused a lot of havoc in the world.
I get it. If I was in the water with a shark, I would want a photo.
You know, Junior checked in, interestingly enough, from Countryside. He said there have been reports that sharks have been found with traces of cocaine in their system from drug boats dumping the drugs when they get chased by police. That's usually between, of course, Cuba and Florida. All the drugs there's tons of drugs in the water there. And then these cocaine sharks can happen. We talked about this a couple years ago. It's a fact, actually.
There were cocaine bears.
Cocaine bears, and there's cocaine sharks. Absolutely there is. Because they eat the cocaine in the water when they dump it when the cops are chasing them, like you said.
I kind of can't believe there hasn't been a modern adaptation of Jaws that has A, influencers, and B, cocaine sharks. The mayor of Jaws would love influencers on his beach.
Well, there was Sharknado, which reinvigorated the shark franchise.
Which Mark McGrath was in. And when we had Mark McGrath on the show from Sugar Ray, yes, that Mark McGrath, he talked about what an honor it was to be in Sharknado.
It wasn't some small independent actor we don't know about.
That Mark McGrath was on the show recently, mind you, and was an absolute delight. One of my favorite interviews we've ever done. And he talked about what an honor it was to be in the Sharknado franchise.
Let's see. We have more check-ins at 630. They need more sharks on golf courses. Then they can eat all the idiots who go there as shots out in the water. I almost got into a fight on the course Sunday because of that guy.
Wow.
So an idiot who went there to shoot shots out of the water. I guess he means when the ball went in the water, he still shot it out of the water?
I think they're saying that people are going in the water to retrieve their balls. I've never been golfing before. I don't know if that's a faux pas.
Well, I think, no, you should get your ball out of the water. What he's saying, I believe, is the ball goes just a little bit into the water. Instead of taking a penalty stroke, he's going into the water to hit the ball out of the water at a certain level.
That's kind of hilarious to think about.
Well, you got to save that penalty stroke.
Come on now. There's high stakes here.
I mean, it's a $5 a hole round here. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. There's the fact that makes your brain go. To think about before summer, shark attacks are on the rise because of clout-chasing influencers trying to pet them. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Well, as we've said, Kenzie's still enjoying her birthday weekend in Mexico, and we'll be back tomorrow to compete. So last chance at me. I won Friday, by the way.
You did?
But I generously still doled out the tickets to the person that competed against me because she was a delight.
And as you've said before, the best part of doing charity is getting the credit, which is why you brought up that you gave the listener the tickets on Friday.
Why not? Why do it if I can't say it on Monday, days later, to remind people how generous I am?
Yeah, I agree. That's what Mother Teresa was all about, clout. Mother Teresa was a clout chaser. You heard it here first.
Really? I mean, at least you're doing charity. That's the important thing.
What a cop-out.
Bobby is competing with us against me today for these tickets to very, very funny dude, Sam Morril at the Chicago Theater. Bobby, ahoy. Tell us something about yourself, bud.
What's going on, brother? I'm a stationary engineer downtown Chicago. Just got off work, heading home.
You said a stationary engineer?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
We take care of all the maintenance in the building. Chillers, boilers, HVAC, all the fun stuff that nobody else sees.
Well, also the stuff that no one else knows how to fix.
Well, yeah, I guess.
See, with computers and technology, you can unplug it and plug it back in, and it works. Is that what you do to, like, water heaters and stuff, no?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The best fix sometimes is just power cycling. Turn it off, turn it back on, and hope it works.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Don't tell anybody I said that, though.
I really was hoping you were saying, like, yeah, those people, it's easy. For me, it's hard work. But now you just power cycling. I like your honesty. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sometimes you just pray and, hopefully it comes back on. That's all I got.
All right, there you go for the building you work in. Those people, just unplug everything. All right, here we go.
Yeah, right. This one.
All right, first 1 to 5 wins. Remember, if I get one wrong, you can steal a point. I can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Bobby.
Heads.
It is heads. See, I'm even honest here in the situation.
So I won, right? It's over?
We'll see what happens here, bud. Let's go. You go with him first there. Case question number 1.
All right, Bobby, what does VHS stand for?
Ah,
Oh, jeez.
I have no idea.
Take a guess.
Take a guess.
What do you think it might be?
VHS?
Yeah, VHS. Just give
Video. No, I don't know. Video housing station.
It's better to guess. It's better to guess. You guess something. I'm going to say video home system.
Video home system is correct.
Oh, boy. I just guessed because, it's in the house as old VHS and betas they used to be anyway.
You a Laserdisc guy?
A buddy of mine, his dad had a laser disc and it looked so cool. And I knocked it off of a shelf. And I broke it.
I'm so glad I
Oh, this PTSD is coming back on that one. Oh, God. I broke it. Oh, man. I never was invited over the house again ever.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Brian's on one of the things. It's going to go back to Brian here.
Okay.
What board game was invented by Charles B. Darrow during the Great Depression?
Charles B. Darrow. Depression. People didn't have money. And that's a very rich name. Sounds like a guy that wanted to shove that he had money in everybody's face. Somebody guessed Monopoly.
Monopoly's correct.
Oh, man. And Monopoly's, they're making some changes with you. No one runs the bank anymore, right?
There's a lot of different versions of Monopoly.
Correct. But isn't there one coming that's like where you can't?
It's cashless. Yes, it's a cashless society.
Terrible.
How do you have a cashless monopoly?
Preach, brother.
Bobby, check out the podcast. We talked all about it. This whole thing. All right,
Hold on here.
2-0. It's back to Bobby. We're going to stick with Monopoly.
Okay.
Bobby, what symbol would you find directly under the word "go" on a Monopoly board?
Oh, isn't it the symbol?
Mm-hmm. What symbol?
No, the symbol.
Oh, the thimble. No, that is not correct.
Thimble is not right. Did you always pick
Better not be the car.
It's not the car. What I'm guessing is it says collect 200.
There's a symbol under the word "go" that we're looking for.
Oh, well, it's money.
No,
Oh, what is it?
it's an arrow.
Oh, like go that direction?
Yeah, go that direction.
Ah! I'm making Bobby sounds now.
All right, 2-0. Back to Brian. Brian, name one of the Western Conference teams remaining in the NHL playoffs, not the New York Knicks.
I got to be very upset with myself because I've been catching up just basically with the games on Twitter because I've been too busy with guests in town and stuff. But I know the Colorado Avalanche are, of course, in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
3-0.
Oh, boy.
All right, Bobby. Flee.
I think that means I already lost. So let's go.
No. Still a chance.
You can make a comeback, bro.
Hang in there. Okay, Bobby, your question is, Flea, Mike Dirnt, and Chris Novoselic are best known for playing what instrument?
Yeah, the cello.
Not the cello. No, sir. Not the cello.
Bobby, you're the best, bro. That's awesome.
That is not
I
right.
was close.
Oh, you got to, I guess they're kind of close in a way.
In a roundabout way.
The bass. Slap that bass, baby.
That is correct.
Oh, Bobby, I love you, man.
It's all about that bass, no cello. I get it.
Oh, my God. Whew. All right. What do you got, Case?
It's 4-0, Brian. You can shut Bobby out with the correct answer.
Oh, no.
We're gonna stick with instruments.
Okay.
Brian, what instrument family is the piccolo in?
Pickle. That would be in the woodwinds.
That would be in the woodwind.
Oh,
That is a
wow.
shutout.
Bobby, you're awesome, man.
Hey, it's been fun, gentlemen.
You know what, bro? Don't go because listen, for that joke, it's all about that cello, no bass. Is that what he said? No, it's all about that bass, no cello.
Yeah, I think he's gonna open for Sam Morril now.
Yeah, you deserve to yell that out to Sam. I'm giving you the tickets anyway, man.
Oh, you're awesome, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Also, for being honest about telling us that really your job is just unplugging stuff and plugging it back in.
Yeah, I know I'm on the air, but hopefully everyone's asleep. Don't tell anybody I said that.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Now about 6 minutes away to start off Fest coming up. It's the first one and will happen all day long. Go to Q101.com for all the information on exact times of our other hosts like Lauren and Brian Phillips. But every day for us at 8 o'clock, your chance to get to Boston Calling. And just for qualifying, you get a one-day ticket to Riot Fest. I mean, you get 2 tickets for 1 day of Riot Fest. You get to choose your day. Pretty awesome. This is unique and excellent. So about 6 minutes away for that. Now, yesterday, Bill Belichick, one of the winningest coaches of all time in the NFL, won the most Super Bowls with 6. Actually won 2 as an assistant coach, too. He has a new book called The Art of Winning, Lessons from a Life in Football. He was interviewed on CBS Sunday Morning. Tremendous interviews. It's a show your grandmother and Pop watch. But
it also made the 26-year-old of the show.
And Case the producer. That's right. Don't be embarrassed to watch CBS Sunday Morning. They give you a nice audio of trees in a forest with a brook. You know, it's really nice.
It's good. You know, journalism is good. And they do a lot of journalism on that show. And it's a good thing.
They're great interviews. I don't know how, Bill Belichick has a book. He's obviously an A-level guest with, worth over $100 million. And I guess some of the surprise recently with him is he's 73, dating a 24-year-old. Some people would say, ew, and cringe or whatever you want to do on that one. But they seem in love. She's very beautiful, and he's 73, wearing ripped-up sweatshirts.
He's not exactly what I would label a silver fox.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, is that Bill Belichick or George Clooney? I can't tell.
Never been said before.
No.
But the interview got interesting because she was sitting there. I'll play the whole clip here where the interviewer talks about her being his creative muse in writing the book, which is really weird. But she's sitting there side interviewing. When one question gets asked, she shuts it down. She shuts down the interview. You think big, powerful Bill Belichick gets his interview, it is demoralizing. But here's the audio from the show and what happened. So from CBS Sunday Morning yesterday.
24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the...
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
So that's the audio I played before. Not talking about this.
And what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
The interviewer goes no to her, and she goes no. Now, again, this is Bill Belichick, one of the most powerful men in sports in the history of sports and football. And nope, not talking about how they met. And to me, he seemed like a prisoner that ISIS had taken. And the way he was sitting there uncomfortably answering questions, again, powerful guy. Always a very awkward interviewer, by the way, in his press conferences. If you watch sports, you see how weird he is with people in interviews.
Not known to light up a room, let's say.
No personality and doesn't like to say much of anything, just wants to win on the field. He was wearing a ripped-up sweatshirt, by the way, on the interview. He always had the cut-off sleeve sweatshirt, but this had a hole in it near his nipple. I found it distracting.
It was a bad look.
You put on a shirt at least.
I think the thing that has to be noted before we continue this conversation is when you listen back to that audio, the interviewer has this very crisp, audio. Bill Belichick obviously wearing a microphone. It's not an interview with Bill Belichick and girlfriend. It's an interview with Bill Belichick, and the girlfriend off in the distance is the one that interjects before he ever says anything and says, we're not answering that.
Yeah, good point. She was not being interviewed. She was just off camera.
Now, of course, if I was CBS Sunday Morning, I would want to interview his creative muse as well.
I put Bill off camera.
Bill, why don't you go sit over there?
And my first question would be, so how did you secure the bag?
You're winning at life. Tell us how.
Yeah, and it's funny because I knew this was going to happen. Of course, you mentioned 73 and 24. Maddie checked in first and said, Brian, as soon as you said he's 73 and she's 24, I said out loud in my car, ew. And she said, ew, with just one capital E, one capital W. But I imagine it came out like, ew.
It's tough to do a short ew.
Yeah.
The effect is a longer ew.
No, it's ew.
Which I don't think it was. I think it was a longer extended cut ew.
If Kenzie was here, she'd go, ew.
I think Kenzie would do that. And she'll be back tomorrow at this time.
But I'm a very live and let live guy. And I don't...
live Moss, as you always say.
Well, you say that, now I say it. So, whatever, if they're all consenting adults and no one's being trapped there, I know it's a 50-year difference and it makes you go, ew. But still, if they're consenting adults, maybe there's something there. It's so hard to find anybody in life that can put up with you. And if he has found it and she has found it, maybe there's true love there. Or maybe not. Maybe.
Do you think maybe because he's worth $70 million that it might have some effect on her feelings towards him?
But let me ask the women out there.
Okay.
Let me ask the
I'm
women.
listening.
You're definitely a fan of women.
Love them.
You're on their side. As am I. Could you sleep with someone that, let's just be honest, at 73 is kind of disgusting, and you're a beautiful young woman to secure the bag? Could you do that just to look at the long con, if you will, to get money later on? Or maybe she's being paid now. I don't know what's going on. She shut it down pretty quickly how they met. I don't know why it's a tough question. It's a reasonable question to say, how'd you meet? Me and my wife met on Match. And you met on your girl on one case, Hinge?
Hinge, yes.
Yeah. So we both met our ladies online. And I'm fine saying that. I'm proud to say it. After many years of meeting women in bars,
What a nice change of pace this was.
Oh, it was very nice.
So let me flip this question around on you, Brian. I want you to be in the shoes of a 24-year-old beautiful woman real quick.
I'm there.
Okay, yeah, it's easy for you to get into that role.
I'm never leaving the house. Just stay. Pretty much it. If I'm a 24-year-old beautiful girl.
So Bill Belichick is how old? He's
73.
He's 73. The average U.S. male lives to be 74.
I've heard that, and it just upsets me because
I know. We both want to live forever. We both fear death. I agree with that.
I also see a lot of 80-year-old people walking around.
Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. Not a lot of people are 80.
Not a lot of tall ones either, which scares the hell out of me.
Not good. But, Brian, you're in a situation right now. You can't afford a house. You want more things. You want an Escalade. You want
Oh, God, I do.
You want a better financial life for your daughter when she grows up. You're telling me you wouldn't sleep with a 73-year-old when he could kick the bucket next year and everything he has could be yours?
Wait a minute. So I have my daughter, and is Megan alive?
Irrelevant.
What? No, it's irrelevant. You're telling me...
Hold on. Different scenario. Megan's alive. You're married, but you could sleep with a 73-year-old, and next year you could be guaranteed all of the money they have. You wouldn't do that?
So I have to cheat on Megan to sleep with Bill Belichick to secure the bag to get a house for Megan and my daughter.
And no other show is running this hypothetical scenario this morning. This is why you make this choice.
I think Megan would say, get out there and shake that booty.
Secure the bag.
Secure that bag. Because it's Bill Belichick. I mean, I'd be the one ruined, not Megan. She'd get a nice house.
Oh,
Can you imagine trying to get through the trauma of me sleeping with Bill Belichick to secure the bag?
She's 24 and beautiful.
Yes, but I'm really curious, and if women want to call on this one, explain it to me, that if you could do that, let's say it is that. I'm not saying it is, because I'm fine with it if everybody's a consenting adult, 73, 24, whatever. You can say ooh, but if they're in love, maybe, or maybe she's securing the bag. Could you do that, though, just for money? And I know money's really important.
It's huge.
It's the biggest thing right now for everybody and me. I can't afford anything right now.
Sean checked in on the text line 847. I'm a straight married man, but I would bottom for Bill Belichick at 73 for his money, and I'm sure my wife would be on board.
All right, there you go. But we're not talking about the women. We're talking about us guys are willing to bang Bill Belichick for the money for our ladies.
You know, us fellas.
Us guys here. There's some women checking in. No, I would not sleep with that guy in his 70s, and I'm 50. It's disgusting. That's from a young lady in our listening crew.
I feel like you got to take the money and run. Do what you can to secure that bag. $70 million is not walking into your life any other way.
Mitchell said Megan would never touch me again if I did that. Well, she has a nice house. Maybe I'll remind her of the house that's covering her head.
That'll show her.
Laurel checked in the words of Kenzie, Brian, get your ass on the sink right now. There we go.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
All right, so about 15 minutes left to text Boston for your chance to get to Boston Calling and win as a qualifying prize Riot Fest tickets. It is Fest. It has begun. And about 15 minutes till 9 o'clock, you still have to text Boston to 312-591-8300. This is why I love the power of this show. I love the people that listen and contribute to the show while we talk about things like the bags of cash that fell from a Brinks truck in suburban Chicago in Oak Park and the crowds 50 to 100 people stole $300,000. This happened last Tuesday. And it says, quote, the back door of the truck opened by unknown means. Now, I really said, I feel bad for the driver, don't know what happened, or maybe it was pried open. Well, this is why, again, I love the power of this show. We have the dad of the driver of that truck on the phone with us right now. His name is John. John, ahoy, welcome into the show.
Ahoy, guys, welcome.
Well, thanks for calling in. Now, what do you have to say about the situation? I think, I said I felt bad for your son. Don't know what happened there. Do you know more of what happened that you can share with us?
Yeah, basically he was driving back and the door malfunctioned and opened up in the back. And only one door in the truck opens at a time. So he was locked in the front when the back opened up. So if the back door was open, he wouldn't have been able to get in and continue to drive because of that lock system.
Oh.
So the door just swung open and the two money bags flew out.
Now, did he know that happened at the time?
Well, right after as it happened, but again, he's locked in the front of the truck. There's no way he could get out if another door is open.
That's wild. So only one door can open for safety reasons,
At a time.
obviously. Yeah,
Correct.
I imagine that. So it happened. Did he even see the people running for the money then, or he just kept driving?
He did. He did. He made a U-turn and came back. Now, he has a weapon, but he can't get out and use it. And he said there was police there also, and they really didn't do anything as well.
They were also reaching for the money?
Probably. He didn't say anything like that, but he said that they were there, and he just said it was like 100 people in a matter of minutes.
I wonder how it spread so fast. Do people have a text thread in Oak Park to say, come get the free money on the street?
He just said everybody in the car stopped right there in the street and just got out.
Can you
The only thing was left was one bag, a couple money bands, and paperwork.
So no one got ink explosions on their hand like you see in the movies, huh?
No, there was nothing in there. It was straight money.
Straight cash.
Wow.
That's fascinating. And is he in any trouble for this, or was it a malfunction?
Well,
right?
he's still under investigation. He can't work, and so he's having a rough time. And the 2 days before that, his car got stolen.
Oh, my God.
So
That
it's
sucks.
a little rut.
That stinks.
That's
brand new car.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough week.
Someone that took that money should buy him a car.
Right?
I know.
So now he's under investigation, but he has to buy a new car.
Oh no, that's tragic.
So he's got the insurance claim, but he's got it from the insurance.
Yeah, because you know what stinks about that situation is that they're going to be suspicious no matter what. They go through the investigation, and he's going like, "Look, the door opened, it malfunctioned," and I bet the investigators are kind of going like, "Right,
Right. Of course, with all that cash, and he just started. He's fairly new.
Oh boy.
And there's only one person on the truck. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Well, we've all seen the movie The Town. It's very dangerous.
That's right. Wow. Okay, now, does he have another field of work that maybe he wants to pivot to after this? Because if he's new on the job and this happens, it's a tough start to your career.
Yeah, it is.
Sure is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's going to do some private security or what he's going to plan to do.
Well, I hope he keeps his job if it was a total technical malfunction. I hope everything goes okay because it sounds like it's a pretty good job. It sounds like it. And
yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to get in trouble. He didn't take anything, and they have cameras all over the trucks in the back and the front, and they say that he never even opened that door the whole day.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody's got a Ring doorbell camera on Austin right there when that happened in Oak Park. Somebody had to have it on film.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they look.
Yeah,
they're looking, but that's hard to find.
All right. Well, listen, we appreciate you checking in. I love that you listen to the show, and send your son our best.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Take care. Thanks for clearing everything up there. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Car stolen, door on the Brinks truck opens up on your first week of work.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough look. Well, now we know what happened for sure right there. And that's anybody has that money, I don't think they could return it and get him out of, bad graces with the company.
No, I don't think showing up to a bank and being like, hey, I took this money from Brinks truck, I don't know if that's the solution to this.
I mean, if I did, I took $42. I got $42, but I spent it on a burrito. Yeah. And I'm sorry, it's gone.
Hey, you know what? That one's on me. Next time this happens, next time I got you.
I'll do the right thing next time. Wow. So amazing. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 coming up in music entertainment news. We have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the official now, coming up. And we'll also have some tickets coming up, too, for Thunderbolt, the new Marvel movie. I'll be hosting a premiere of that on Thursday, but we have some passes for that coming as well after Coldplay. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.